So first up, all the leveling. Does anyone have
Yay.
anything interesting they want to share? Any cool thing that happens at your level?
I spell. I don't think I didn't finalize my spell.
I actually need to check if they have that in. Because Ottardo has an effect he can add onto his aura now
Mm-hmm.
to grant bonus to damage.
Oh, cool. Very cool. I realized that Ottardo being a champion, what is anathema for Ottardo?
So it's basically marring the judicial process. Well,
Mm-hmm.
his god is all about proper court proceedings and correct justice and execution. So anathema, okay. Kill without thoughts, execute the innocent, or mock the condemned.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, there's the usual champion stuff, which is like just uh, be good.
Yeah, so that is in addition to what it lists on the champion anathema for the good champion,
Yeah,
right?
there is a precise ranking which I need to pull out if
Oh,
I
how
can.
you would prioritize things if they're conflicting.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's how they fixed that issue
right.
by giving them ranking.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, because that spell, Anthony, that you had picked out, the imp's sting has the evil trait. So I'm wondering how Ottardo would feel if somebody in the party casts evil spells
Hmm.
somewhat routinely. So I mean, it's not happening right away, but it might be something to think about.
That's not the only evil spell I was looking at, so
Oh well, look at that.
good to keep
Yeah,
in mind. Yeah.
because I mean, the anathema says explicitly, or it only talks explicitly about casting evil spells yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that there is something about champions being able to align themselves with people that aren't
It
necessarily
yeah,
opponent. You
it
know,
does say something like that for the greater good.
yes, right.
Right.
But maybe in terms of, at least in terms of the role playing, that might be something that you want to keep in mind when the time comes. Also, Anthony, I finally remembered to set up a flaming sphere token for you. So there's now an actor you should be able to pull in, which has a nice little flaming sphere.
Cool.
And then you can just move it around so we can
Oh,
track
and
of
it's
that.
animated.
And it is
Oh,
animated, of course.
Oh,
Не надо, no.
and it nudges allies out of the way. How polite.
Probably also enemies, but that's not too bad because that's probably even going to be helpful because then we'll see
And
whoever
we'll
is.
actually, see them.
Which reminds me, I should probably make it also shed light, right? It doesn't say that explicitly, but I think it makes sense to say that it should be at least 40/20.
Makes sense.
Okay, so that should be taken care of. All right. Yeah, Karn, anything interesting about Soma at this level? Anything new?
Not much really. I get the feats, I get a new spell of second level, and that's about it for now. So,
Okay.
no, wait, no, you're correct. I get the feat, and one of those feat is now fire defense, which means everyone now gets +1 to AC. From
So is that a particular performance or is that part of Inspire Courage?
it is a different performance, so it would either inspire courage or inspire defense.
Okay, but you can kind of layer them using your lingering performance. No, we talked about that.
Nope. We talk about this. No, I can switch them every round, but not at the same time.
Got it.
And
Okay.
it's apparently it is so hardwired that even when you like on 14th level get Inspire Heroics, you still can't combine them.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, and of course I got that our new flanking buddy.
Right. And how about Ottardo? Anything? Oh, right. You said that the aura has changed. Anything else?
That's it for this level. He has he picked terrifying resistance, so if he demoralizes something in combat, he has a little bonus to resisting its spells.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And that's it.
Okay, it looks like Ale still has to pick a class feed for Birke, because there's just an empty slot here. But yeah, we'll definitely not do that. But I think that's fine. I mean, it's mostly Birke's stats that are important.
Mm.
So I think we're good to go. All right. So Sam, can I ask you again to take control of Birke for today?
Sure.
I think you have. No, you don't currently have. But you should now have
Yeah.
power over her. Okay. All right. Then here we go. So, last time we faded to black essentially when you were running out of the vaults of the levels below the Gauntlight, being chased by some rabid ghouls that were trying to rip you to pieces in service of their canker, whoever that may be. You barely escaped with all 4 of your lives or existences. And as soon as you, without looking back, you ran and ran and ran until you saw some sunlight. Is that what's the weather today? Well, or at least the skies, because there is some heavy rain going on today, and as the rain washes over your face as you come out and leave the Gauntlight Keep behind, it probably feels very welcome to you to still have those to still be able to have these sensations. And you breathe heavily from the exhaustion of having run for such a long time. Also, the traumatic memories that are still fresh in your minds, of course. What are we going to do next?
I suggest we take a breath for today. I'm not ready to go back in there again. Maybe we should bring more alchemist fire and just flood it.
That sounds expensive, but yeah, a good night's rest. At least one night.
Okay, so we're heading back to Atari, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
All right, so you make the trip back, and can't shake the feeling of feeling a little defeated, I guess.
It's
But you
not our
know,
first.
right? Exactly. It's not your first time, and you know that the vaults are patient, and you might return to fight another day. Anything you want to do in terms of downtime activity or shopping, or
I
should
think
we
it
just
will be
fast forward?
just let me check if any. Yeah, I think everything on Birke would just go down with rest. So yeah, just rest and healing.
Okay.
Yes, Souma actually would try to seek out Arthur. Ask him if he has any news about our prey. Uh, of poor Las de Venkervale. We initially tried to.
Sure. Okay.
She really needs some good news today.
Yeah. Well, let me think about that for a second. What's
The word you for that.
that's fine. What is Lucca gonna do?
Lucca would probably ask Birke if she'd be so kind as to make a visit to the Dawnflower Library for him and see if she could find a book or two, which will come into play later.
Okay.
Nothing crazy, just
Got it.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you very much, then. Always appreciated. You know, it's so hard for me to just go popping in there with all of their biases.
Okay, hold on a second, and then I can tell you what Arthur has to say about what you asked him. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So you seek out Arthur, who is still around. He's still kind of hanging out in town, but he is slightly. He can't help but show a little bit of frustration when you ask him about it. And he says, "Well, there's not much I can tell you, really. I mean, the trail is lost. A couple of sorry. Yeah. So I know for a fact that several people have seen him walking out of town with a hooded stranger carrying a lantern, but that has been over a year ago, and of course, uh, nobody at the time thought much of it. I have no idea who the hooded stranger might be. I have no idea how he would have lured poor Lasta away from town, and I have no idea where he is right now. All of these are quite important questions. Have you found any sign of him?
And at this point, I'm speaking of character because Souma will tell him everything that happened, like in great detail, and everything that she thinks about it too. So she'll basically start complaining about how. Do you think how can we possibly find anything in that cursed dungeon? It's filled with blue tiny things that might then it filled with undead, unrest spirits, and then well, there are of course the ghouls that try to eat our guts, and these ghouls have guts roping around them, and they eat those guts as well. And it's terrible, but didn't see any dwarfs though. So I've checked. I didn't check, but I'm very sure none of those were dwarves.
So he listens to that story and all the detail that you're giving of everything you've found out so far, and he is very interestedly listening to it, and he says, "So that means that truly there is an unknown number of levels below the Gauntlight keep, and the what are they called? What is the gang? The Otari and his fellow heroes gang called again?
Rose Guard.
The Rose Guard. Yeah. So the Rose Guard never spoke of this, so it must have escaped their notice. But when they defeated Belcora, they must have thrown the entire place into chaos. That would explain how the ghoul. It's maybe her minions were cut off for a long time. Maybe they had to resort to terrible practices and turn themselves into ghouls. Maybe it was a blast of negative energy when she died, necromantic power converting the poor souls within into these monstrosities. All of this is fascinating. Background information, fascinating indeed, and unfortunately, it does not get us one inch closer to poor Lasta, but nevertheless fascinating.
Yeah, someone will never horizon grumble. Well, maybe you could go with us and experience it firsthand then.
Well, I surely would, but you've given me much to research. Plenty of new information here, so I will have much to do, and it's still, I feel still very uncomfortable about all these signs of disdain and almost hatred, if outright hatred towards Absalom. And I wonder how much longer I should linger here, or if I should actually go into to the city and ask for support and return with a certain force, that so that we can storm the levels below the keep with appropriate numbers.
That is
What do
actually
you
a great idea.
Well, then maybe I should do that. I will. Yes, yes. Maybe you're right. Maybe I really should. I will do some research here in the Dawnflower Library, which I'm sure I will exhaust fairly quickly on the topics, and then I shall leave for Absalom and see if I can't make some of my contacts work for me there.
Mm.
And then he basically leaves for the library if you don't have any more questions. All right. Okay. So there's no reason why you couldn't just rest for a couple of days if you want to do that. Like how much do you need? How long do you want to rest?
Well, technically we only need 1 day, but
Okay, let's start with 1 day.
Ottardo wouldn't mind sleeping in for a bit longer.
Okay. Well, but let's take this one step at a time because I do need to do things. Right. Because so you can definitely give yourself the benefit of night's rest. Yep. I will need some saves, however, and I will need Birke to roll a fortitude save, please. Just roll it
Ooh,
right. I don't have a prompt for you. Just roll it straight up.
okay.
And Ottardo as well. Lucca, by midday today, your enfeeblement goes away.
Is it a sleep or dream related effect for
It is
Birka?
not. No, it is not. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so Birke and Ottardo, not great. So Birke had a not very restful night. Wakes up like cold sweat all over her. There's a certain smell there's a sweet, like almost rotting smell that hangs around her that she can't seem to wash off. Um, at first, she thinks that it's just the memory of dealing with the ghouls, but no, she is actually smelling a little bit like a ghoul herself, and the same is true for Ottardo.
Ooh.
Okay, so let me do some bookkeeping here.
Can Ottardo attempt to identify what is going on?
Sure. Do you have religion or medicine?
He has both and they're more or less the same.
Oh, yeah, go for it. You can roll either. Okay. Well, it is a fever of some kind. You can tell it, given your medical skills. But you're not really sure. Like nothing you tried to bring it down seemed to help, which is of course unfortunate. Well, yeah, that's the only thing you can really tell. Some kind of fever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm having some trouble getting this calendar to work for me here. Why is this so hard? Cannot select the date. Why is that not working? Oh wow. Okay, it just didn't show that the date was successfully updated. Okay, and here we are for that. Sorry for all the waiting, but almost there. Okay. Yeah, so both of you feel enfeebled, but it's not like you can't go about your day. Not that bad, but you definitely feel under the weather.
Mhm.
So how do you want to deal with that? Do you just want to spend another day resting or
Um,
seek help?
yeah, but let me just check what Ottardo can do about this.
By the way, those wounded conditions on Birke, we probably handled on the long rest, right?
Yeah, I took care of it. So Ottardo could treat disease, but I assume that requires knowing the disease.
I don't think so. I mean, the action doesn't say anything about requiring you to identify it. I think you can treat symptoms without necessarily knowing what it is.
Okay, well, in that case, you spend at least 8 hours caring for a diseased creature.
I mean, if we could try to get Souma to also try to roll some medicines and maybe play some soothing music for 8 hours to get to them that inspire competence.
8 hours of soothing music.
Yep.
It's like a YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly.
8 hours of calming music to recover from fever too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although-
I don't really see that working
Yeah,
here.
it's probably not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, do you bring this to like Lucca's and Suma's attention, or are you just like,
Well,
like
I
I'm
assume
sick, dude.
we're going to meet up again at in the morning to discuss plans and everything. Yeah.
And it
So
was probably pretty obvious to Lucca that they look crappy.
are you quite well, Ottardo? You look a little green.
Green? Me? Green? And he looks at his hands and
Oh, it's
wow.
a figure of speech, of course.
Well, I am a bit
You've suffered many wounds. Perhaps you've picked up some sort of infection.
Yeah, my headphones broke down for a moment. What did I miss?
we just met up in the morning and Lucca is remarking that Ottardo and Birke look poor.
Is it just me, Suma, or do they look a little, shall we say, clammy under the collar?
And like, and someone will also like sniff like, like, and you seem to still smell of a crypt. And guys, are you sure you don't want to visit the library? Maybe Arthur is there still too. He was quite insistent on continuing research. His research. I'm sure he will tell you all about what he thinks about you in this condition. Sorry.
Well, I can make a check, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Religion or medicine?
Religion or medicine?
I'm also going to make a check. It's this check in the prompt or just normal check?
No, that was for the 8 hours of treat disease. I can move that away.
Religion. Why can't I find it?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
Well, it's all a mystery.
it is weird. No, I mean, it's just seems to be the beginning stages of something, or maybe it is not as bad. So without the symptoms intensifying or other symptoms showing up, you have a hard time saying what it is.
Well, do you still feel well enough to fight?
I think it would be best if we took one extra day, and I'm going to attempt some things maybe to soothe Birke. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. And
Very well then. Well, I have some reading to do anyway, so if there's no urgent need to go throw ourselves back into dire danger, risk our lives, unlives, so on and so forth, then I will be in my cottage.
okay.
Maybe actually it would be better for someone to treat your disease. Can we treat the two diseases at once, or
I don't think so because it says a diseased creature. You could try to take care of Birke while Ottardo tries to take care of himself.
try that? All right. In that case, so someone will grab Birke by the collar and and you, my dear, you need a good rest, and will carry her to get better.
All right. So let's try that. So Soma's taking care of Ottardo, right?
Of Birke.
Of Birke. Yeah.
Of Birke, and Ottardo is taking care of himself.
Yep.
Okay. Let's do that. Okay. So you spend the day looking after Birke, Soma. See your roll.
Right. So,
I think Ottardo is going to attempt to use his assurance, which should grant him a result of 16.
Okay. Hold on. I figure this out. Against the diseases DC. So that is probably it's safe to see, I would assume. Okay, I see it here. I see it there. All right. So that is a successfully treated disease. So Soma probably sees that, her cold washcloths to the face and her treatments seem to work. Maybe you have some ointments that helps with the smell, at least like aesthetically, and that raises Birke's spirits a little bit. So Birke gets a +2 on her next fortitude save the next morning. Ottardo?
Ottardo uses assurance,
Sure.
which
Oh,
grants
to
him
full 16. Yeah. So same idea. You're treating yourself. You're trying to cool yourself down. Trying to your best to like control the smell. Just so to not like spread this the depressing notion that you're getting sicker and sicker, and that might help yourself too. So you also get a +2 bonus to your next roll, which is going to happen the next morning. So I'm going to take us to the next morning. Here we are. I should go back a couple of hours.
Oh. I think whenever you move a day, I get a little banner that says that I lack permissions to do something.
Same.
Okay, I don't.
That's
Maybe
not an issue.
it might be because maybe it is giving away that there are calendar notifications for me that are popping up that you don't have
Ah,
permission to see. So maybe that's what it is. But as long as it's not impacting us, I think that's fine.
yeah.
Okay, so next morning we'll see some more saves. I can prompt you for this, I realize. Let me give you the DC. Okay, here we are.
Okay, so this is from Birke with a
Mhm.
+2. Okay, the +2 is baked in.
Okay. So yeah, she definitely seems to recover a little bit. And
And Ottardo with the +2 baked in too.
okay. Good. Give me a second while I figure this out. Where did it go? Okay. Hold on. What the heck? A different thing. I think there are 2 versions of this disease around. Anyway, yes, you recover from it, and you don't feel enfeebled anymore, so you can get rid of that. And you think that today is definitely going to be a better day.
Okay. We actually still need to do some management because we have an unidentified dungeon.
All right. Let's see. What do we have?
Well, primarily the unusual IPs. We some looted from librarian. It doesn't say it. And I still have some strange, unusual object in my backpack, which I have no idea what it is and how it got here.
There's the stash. Okay. Yeah, given that you're in town, between your various contacts in town, I think it is fair to assume that you can find a way to identify these fairly basic items. So who's holding on to that? That's Soma, apparently. Is that right?
Yes, Soma has the unusual eyepiece and, well, something that I don't know.
Okay. So the eyepiece turns out to be a craft eyepiece. So when you put it in, the lens reveals a faint 3-dimensional outline of an item you plan to build or repair, with helpful labels on the component parts. So it's like magic-aided design, essentially. While worn, you gain a +1 item bonus to crafting checks, and when you repair an item, increase the hit points restored by 15 per proficiency rank instead of 10. So I think I know something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yes.
we will. Even though it will pain Soma to part with it, we'll transfer it to Dash and then to Ottardo.
All right. And the wand, which you found, remember you found that in the fire suppression equipment room, turns out to be a wand of quench, fittingly. Is a spell to put out a fire.
Quench. What's the use of that?
Well, it
Primal.
takes out the fire.
Yeah.
Ugh. Doesn't sound very useful to me.
You cause air in the area to become super saturated with water vapor. Non-magical fire in the area are automatically extinguished. Fire creatures in the area take 44 damage.
Oh, well, I suppose it's useful for something. Unfortunately, it's not useful for any of us, unless you have recently studied druidism.
Does anyone of us study druidism by any chance? Oh, wait. Hey, Birke, you're a ranger, right? Do you know some druid spells?
Oh yeah, do you cast I mean, we know you don't cast spells, but do you ever intend to?
Maybe someday in your future.
Is it
For,
something you've ever dreamed of?
for some reason, I can't find an answer for that right now.
Well, we'll just have to hold on to it and
I guess.
ask you again later. Think about it for a bit.
Yes. Think about where you want to be 5 levels from now.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about what you want to do with yourself?
All right. So rangers are of the primal tradition?
Well, I mean, I'm
They can
assuming.
get access to primal spells, I think, depending
They,
on what they do.
they get warden spells, but what tradition is that? Okay, check quickly.
It's kind of hard to divorce a ranger from nature themes, even for Pathfinder.
I remember in the latest remaster blog post, they were talking about revamping the spellcasting for the rangers a little bit because they weren't too happy with how it worked, but I never looked into how it used to work. Which are their focus spells are still of a tradition though, right? There it is. Your warden spells are primal spells. So I guess that might become interesting. So don't sell it just yet, I would say.
I've dropped it in stash.
Good. Anything else we need identified? Does anybody else have any items that?
I think we identified. I think that was the only thing. I had something that I identified last time. I think. Oh, hang on. There was. Do I still have it in my inventory notes on? Yeah. Yeah. Actually, there's one other thing I want to do during downtime.
Okay.
I want to go to. I guess Morlabent is probably the best person for this.
Mm-hmm.
And gonna step into his shop and basically I want to show him the notes that we found on necromancy and construct making.
You can probably carry with you the 2 bulk of books that we found. I'll put them in
Sure.
the stash.
Lucca drags them along behind him, and
Well, we can give you arrange you some sort of cart, maybe like.
no, he'll just be encumbered and walk very slowly to the bookstore.
maybe you can drag a coffin with books behind you. But like
get a card or something.
Yeah. Well, Morlabent, I have. You said you might be interested in some rare tomes from the Gauntlight and the ruins within. I have these to offer you, and I also have. Well, we found these there as well. Not sure that they have any significant historic or monetary value, but they may have some personal interest to me. I was wondering if you might be able to make any heads of tails of these notes. Generally, they regard the process of necromancy and the construction of constructs by the binding of spiritual or soul energy to such things. Is there? I would be keen on hearing your take, an analysis of such paperwork, such notes. If you think that similar process might be employed to, shall we say, uh, hypothetically, of course, bind a soul to physical remains with a bit more consciousness about them.
Okay, so you drop off that large pile of books, and
Yeah.
Morlabent is just like he goes, whoa, and he immediately dives in and he pulls out some of the individuals. Oh, this is most fascinating. How did you? Well, this is rather uninteresting. And he just kind of like sorts through them. It's like, this is incredible. There must be a wealth of knowledge hidden in those halls below the Gauntlight. Who would have thought that would ever? That's amazing. And he goes through all of them, and he said, "Such that you really should be rewarded for this. I can't just take all of these books from you." And he goes back into this to his little lockbox, and he grabs some gold pieces. How many bulk are you dropping off for him?
As many
Uh,
bulk as we have.
That's
2, I
two in the
guess.
stash.
Oh, I
There's
have
two.
one myself as well. I guess that's 3 in total.
Birke maybe carrying some. Is that possible?
I can
There's
check.
another bulk on Birke that I see.
Oh, okay. I'll transfer it from Birke to the stash.
Yeah. And he'll pay 5 gold per bulk, essentially.
Okay, so that's 20 gold total. I'll delete the one I have in my inventory.
Okay, I can sell the ones in the stash. Boop.
But if you find more, by all means, please drop them off. I definitely would love to complete the collection here and take as much from the claws of these vaults as possible.
Well, yes, of course. Be happy
And
to.
okay, and then you had the question about the notes, which I believe you already had dropped off for translation for
Oh,
him.
did we? Well,
Yes.
well, we got the ciphered book titles. I thought that's what we.
Were those not yet?
No, we have those. We got those.
No, I did have in my calendar that a translation of notes is ready.
Oh, never mind then. I
Yep.
forgot it. Never mind.
So as
I
you
was
drop
just
off,
dropping off these books. Have you made any progress on that translation?
while I have you here, yes, I actually I do, and it does sound rather unsettling, I must say. Your suspicion that it was about transferring souls into constructs is, well, it was only half accurate, because it looks like the true goal of whoever took these notes was to actually transfer his own soul into a swarm of worms.
Right.
An
Right.
abhorrent idea.
Dang,
Oh,
nothing
that's
right about that.
actually. I think you mentioned something about this the last time that I was in here. Now that.
Well, I believe some of the book titles hinted as such.
Yes, we did pick up some alchemist fire specifically to deal with swarms, but I don't think you said anything about worms before. Why would anyone want to become a bunch of worms?
I would have no idea.
Sounds like a rather miserable existence.
Indeed. Usually, transferring your soul into another body is to escape the worms. Well, but
Indeed.
I have plenty of new material to catalog and work with. But again, please, if you find anything, feel free to drop it off here. I will pay you handsomely, of course.
Yes, well, do let me know if you come across anything in those notes regarding transferring a soul into a skeleton or a skull, more specifically.
Of course, yes, I shall.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, bye now. Marty
Farewell.
starts pulling to himself as he starts like thumbing through the books.
Yeah.
All
Was
right.
this what Lucca wanted to do at the library, or was there something else?
Oh, I was just doing a little light reading.
Because you asked about Birke going in there to
Yes, a couple of reference tomes. Nothing you need to worry about.
okay.
All right. So are we done with the downtime activities, or do we have anything else you want to take care of while in town?
I think that takes the majority because Souma was going to take a lot of alcoholic remedies to heal her wounded soul, but I'll just deduct 2 silver pieces from my inventory to account for that.
How do we get into that party sheet again? I can't find the damn thing.
On that folder in the actors map with the folder with the party, it's a button right on the folder.
Right there it is. Okay, so did anyone add the gold from the books?
Yeah.
It automatically added, yes, by selling it from.
Okay, but so you only sold the 3 that were in the.
I added 5 GP for the one
Okay,
book
okay,
from Lucca.
got it. Okay.
Put some of my stuff in the stash base, so like the gold paperweight, I kind of want to keep it for now. For a moment, I don't think we'll need any bedrolls in the dungeon. Like
Well, today's the day we're going to have a sleepover there, so.
Uh, does any one of the characters remember if the cultists we faced used the harm spell against us?
they totally did.
There was grim tendrils for sure. There may have been a harm. I think there was perhaps one may have been used to heal allies.
I think they did try to. I think one of them actually tried to touch someone with the harm, but we saved it.
I think in that case, Birke will pick up the channel protection amulet, unless somebody else wants it.
Appropriate.
Okay, it is there, and if we attune it, hopefully it works with the automation. Okay, I think it's ready for Ottardo and Birke.
Souma, my sorcerer. You, Ottardo probably should pick up that +1 morning star from the. We left
Yeah,
your
he
full
he
Warhammer.
he dropped it because we had just picked up this fine silvery hatchet last time. We'll be using that instead.
And I think we're.
I am going to take one of these healing potions from the stash since I had to use the one I'm carrying with me to heal Birke.
All right. And then we head back to the library level, or where are we going?
I think that would be the level. Yeah.
All right, and basically, where on that level? Basically, right near that room, that large room. Or where would you want me to?
The main, maybe the main library part.
How about here?
Yes, I suppose we must ask ourselves a question well, we have given it a few days. I suppose this priestess or whatever she was of the cult worshipper of the canker has had plenty of time to shall we say regroup, strategize regarding our return. Do we simply want to march right in there and face that, or perhaps we might find something else in this level that might prove useful in the battle against her, even if it is only information? For instance, it would be a fine thing to finally understand what precisely this canker is.
Yeah, well, that that surely would be good, but the main expert on who that thing is probably right now waiting for us to and touch and sharpening her fangs to consume our flesh.
Right. Well, at the very least, there is this door behind us. Perhaps it would be good to know what is in there before we go have a fight right in the next hall over.
Sure.
And do keep in mind that there is that wandering ghoul with his books and his meat in that other room. But that was several days ago. I'm sure he's run out of books to read and meat to eat. So he's likely to be wandering around here somewhere. Had a good chat last time, but I'm not entirely sure he'll be so friendly again. Especially with all of you warm-blooded sorts here.
Well, let's see.
All right. So as you turn that corner that you remember so vividly, you fail to see the dead body or the destroyed bodies, the slain bodies of the ghouls that you fought here. Instead, there's just signs that they've been dragged back through the door into that room beyond.
Before we go for the door, Soma, might I trouble you for that light spell?
Oh yes, I suppose I need to consume another dose of oil. Lantern oil.
Ottardo should have that. What's it? The Wayfinder, which actually turns on the lights. And,
Oh, right. I forgot.
And Soma will usually put light spell on Birke.
Allow me to stand somewhere where I can shoot things.
By the way, I have a question a little bit. Are these mountings still operational?
What were you talking to me? Sorry, I was.
Yes. Basically, Soma wants to think tactically and put torches in some of these in the mountings on the wall.
Sure. Yeah. Did you bring torches?
I do have torches in my backpack.
Okay. We can add some light sources, of course.
I'll put torches in.
All right. One here, one here.
Maybe one here.
Okay, that's 40-20, or what is the dim and bright?
I think it is.
Yeah.
20
and then 20.
Yep. That should have done it, I think. All right.
Okay, then, well, Ottardo will reach for the handle.
Okay. Yeah, you open the door and you find a very short corridor and another door at the end.
That is a bit peculiar. He's going to take one look in that room before stepping inside.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Sorry, forgot to
Yeah, seems
hide.
safe.
Okay, well,
As you step in,
rocks
hallway.
fall.
Yeah. No, you're good. It's just a short like it feels like must have been designed to like block the sound from the main part of the library to whatever lies beyond.
Oh,
And you open the door and you find an office of some kind, and it is surprisingly brightly lit by several glowing lights in a chandelier that's hanging above a desk and a chair. There are a couple of mirrors that are hanging on both the north and the south wall, but both of them are badly cracked. And there's a door to the west.
So the chandelier is lit.
The chandelier is lit, indeed.
With like candles or something magical?
You can investigate and
Detect
find
magic.
detect magic, and indeed there is magic.
Read
And,
aura.
and as you read its aura, you find that it has the evocation aura.
I believe. Well, I mean, I can make a check if you like, but I have
No,
a solid guess.
Yeah, it's simple enough to figure out that the lights are because there's an ever-burning torch socketed into the center, and then there's like clever pieces of glass that refract the light so that it looks like a lit chandelier. And the torch itself could be removed.
Appears it has been. This torch has had a continual flame spell cast upon it. I suppose I could use that instead of the lantern, unless you want to carry it around, Suma, but do you not already have your hands full?
Yeah, feel free to grab it.
Very well then. I shall take the ever-burning torch and snuff out my lantern before I use up any more oil.
And then Ottardo will reach for the handle again.
All right, and this door appears to be locked. As a matter of fact, the lock itself looks kind of oversized almost,
Oh,
but it
well,
definitely takes a key to open it.
Well, if it so happens, I have a key.
What key is it? Oh, that is awesome.
Now, if you allow me,
Found in nice.
it actually shows me the area.
Yeah. I see, but it doesn't. So it doesn't fit the lock.
Hmm.
Seems like
Well.
whatever room was not part of the librarian's purview.
Yeah. Well, that is like someone says, well, I mean, it so happens we have a key, and she like tries the key, and it's like, well, I have another key, and she will pull out the her fuse tool. Now let's see.
Yes, I can give you a prompt for that.
Thank
Oops. Wait.
you.
There it is. Sorry. That's a regular failure, so you make no progress.
Yeah, like, all right, sorry. Yeah, this pick was too weak. I'll need to have like a thicker wire pick. It's too bendy. Okay, another one. Like pick like another set of like strange bendy things and dive deep. And there we go. Yeah, those levers were way too strong in such a barn lock.
Well, but it is a fairly complex lock. You do make some progress here, but you can't quite open. Yeah,
I need more than one check.
you do.
Well, that's complicated. Look then. There's a security pins in there.
Well, where's it? Oh yeah. Well, but you're making good progress. You feel like you're close. There's probably just one little cylinder thing left.
All right. Yeah. I feel some counter motion on the fifth. Now
Yes, and finally,
There we
it's
go.
yeah. Your companions are probably quite impressed with your skill at this point. It looks like you're holding like two of the pins in place with three, and then maneuvering there. It's really a tough thing to crack, but you managed to succeed. Excellent job.
Now let's do this again to prove it was not fluke. No, sorry, I'm just.
You lost again, yeah.
All right, and Ottardo tries the handle.
And yeah, and you reveal let's hold on for a second here. An exceptionally comfortable looking room. There's a thick carpet, bright light from a glowing chandelier. There's even soothing incense that is wafting through the room. There are two overstuffed chairs sitting opposite a low table that's stacked with books. And there's even more books sitting on a set of shelves to the west. There's a softly gurgling fountain carved to resemble a mossy skull, and it's leaking water sitting in the northwestern corner. Very, very pleasant thing, or pleasant room. It's not so pleasant is that immediately a voice rings out, kind of like a high-pitched, screechy voice, very upset sounding, and it says, "Why are you disturbing me here? I just want to read in peace. Leave now, or you shall taste my wrath." Now you look around the room to see where it's coming from. Seems to be coming from somewhere higher up, but you don't see anyone. What do you do?
Spooky Wisp.
Just quick question before the mossy skull. Does it look like the other skulls that we saw in the?
Yeah, I mean, it's differently stylized, but it's the same motif, like a mossy skull. You've seen that before, yeah, for sure.
I meant specifically the ones in the elevator chambers.
Similar design. Like, again, not like differently stylized, but same motif.
Okay. Well, Ottardo's going to take one step into the room and try to look around and say, "Hello, sorry for disturbing."
Did you say you step inside?
Yeah.
Sorry for disturbing. Okay. Well, let's give me a. Oh, why not? Let me see a diplomacy check.
Okay.
That's what you're doing, I assume. Trying to be polite. Wow. And the voice rings out once again and says, "Ah, finally, at least someone with manners. But I still want to just be left alone and read my books. I just started Pathways of the Worm. I just got to some really good illustrations. You should see how the body that's been ripped to pieces just jumps off the page. It's right there. Ah, it's love. But just leave, please. I just want to focus on my books."
Can Ottardo see where it's coming from now?
No, it seems to be like darting around. It's still near the ceiling somewhere, but it seems to be moving around as it speaks. You do see the book on the table though, and you do see that one of the chairs like still is like slightly see almost like an imprint. You see that somebody recently sat on those comfortable cushions, and on the table there's a book that's cracked open, and it shows some pretty grisly descriptions, illustrations of what looks like ritual sacrifice of some sort.
Oh, okay. He's going to step back, close the door, and turn to his companions.
You hear it through the closed door.
Well, it is rude to disturb a fellow when he's reading.
Yeah, at least he politely asked us to leave, so we might as well oblige him, I think, for now.
Yeah, but Ottardo will still describe like the one page he caught a glimpse of, like that
What
that
did
was wrong.
Yeah,
What,
and
what,
you all heard the glee in the voice when the creature was talking about it, so you know it's an evil creature.
Yeah, well, once we do that, someone will like look at the lock, look at the door, like, yeah, maybe that was there for a reason. And now she will actually lock the door behind him.
Okay, so but that's gonna take another 3 successful thievery checks.
Well, okay, I don't. Okay, see, since we are locking the door behind it from this side, we don't actually need to lock the door. We just can put it through the bars and leave it hanging.
I'm not
you're
sure.
the expert.
Yeah, so I mean,
You want to break the lock essentially, so that it's like that it's.
or you mean it's not a hanging lock? Or it's
Oh no, it's
locking
not
the
a
door?
it's not a pad it's not a padlock. It's
Ah.
just the lock of the door itself that was oversized.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Then I guess we'll try to barricade it.
So you move the desk in front of it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and when you do that, I mean, it's unavoidable that there's quite some noise involved.
Yeah.
And from the room next door, you hear some quiet.
And like we're done. Have fun. Good luck.
Can't help
Okay.
but feel that there might have been something interesting in there. What did he say the name of the book was that he was reading?
The pathways of the worm.
Yeah, that does sound
So-
evil
so-
and
so-
somewhat related to what we found so
We
far.
did just find a whole book about becoming a worm person.
Mm. Well,
Not that I
we'll come back.
understand. Okay,
We'll come
I
back
guess it's
eventually.
good. Yes, we'll come back. Right. Okay. Let's go.
Did anyone take the ever-burning torch? I didn't catch if anyone.
Oh,
having
the
one.
second. Well, I took the one from this little room here.
Yeah, then I'm just gonna turn here.
I have already put it in my inventory.
Good.
Or I put a ever-burning torch in my inventory.
So where
Well,
next?
that is the question. We haven't checked the small corridor up
Mhm.
north, and there's always the scary place. Shall we confront the cult right now? Shall we explore a bit more?
Well, I believe that it is. I mean, we are at full strength right now.
Yeah, I'm also kind of tempted to say that we are right now probably the best equipped to handle
That is
those
true, yeah.
vile clerics. So
Yeah, well, let's go for it.
right. Okay, yeah. Someone will once again prepare her magic instrument.
I will prepare nothing because I have nothing to prepare.
I will live in the moment.
I will take cover behind this wheelbarrow full of books.
Alright.
Ottardo will be doing defend for the shield, and Birke will be scouting.
Yep.
And
I understand. And you open the door. Okay. So, but just so I get an idea, like, how are you entering this room? Are you opening the door and carefully peeking
just
in?
a normal door opening.
I mean, is it like you're opening the door and you're rushing into the room, or are you?
Not rushing, just like open the door, see what's inside, and then
Okay, got it. Okay. So let me give you the room description once again. So there are rows of bookshelves that run the length of the entire room. but in some places they've been damaged and or tipped over. The books that once sat on the shelves that are ruined now appear to have been relocated to the other shelves. There are several doors leading out here from this room, and if you remember the double doors to the north, made of stone, carved with that strange feminine shape that's rising from the mists of the cemetery, and you can see like ghostly faces in the mists. And the mist itself is rising from emptied graves. Very eerie depiction. So you definitely remember that, I'm sure. There are fewer ghouls in here than last time. You only see two of the cultists that are busy, or at least looks like they have been busy, trying to repair one of the crumbling bookshelves. So basically, picking up the work that the other ghouls had been doing the first time you came in here. You do see the very obvious signs of bodies having been dragged into or through this door down here. Lots and lots of gore and blood still on the ground, maybe even bits of flesh and bone. So yeah, that's probably where all those slain ghouls went. As you open the door, the two cultists like both turn around and with their ghoulish faces under their hoods, the light that falls in that you bring into this room, illuminating their features in a really creepy way, and they like grin and their eyes are sparkling a little bit in that in the light, and they lick their lips and they say, "Oh, the offerings for the canker have returned. We shall not disappoint the high priestess." And then we can roll for initiative. I assume.
Yep. Diplomacy, go.
Okay, so we have this, we have this, we have that, and you can roll your initiatives. Excellent. Okay, Soma, you are the one to start.
Right. In that case, let's do just that. Now we'll play for a different tune. So we will do Inspire Defense on everyone. And following this, we'll make Birke's. She has a glaive, right? I will put magic weapon on her.
All right. Cast time 1 for Inspire Defense, 2 for Magic Weapon. Got it. Okay. Birke.
Okay. Birke will step into the room. Let me check her speed. 25. Will she step into the room?
I think, Sam, you want to pull that effect onto your and Birker's token, if I'm not mistaken.
Which one? The magic weapon?
No, the Inspired.
Oh, the Inspire. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yep. Yes. Yes. So Birke, 25 feet. The things we see right in the middle of the room are those like shelves or something?
I would say they're like half high shelves, so they only go up to your waist.
Okay, so if Birke was right next to them, she would be able to attack?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but she wouldn't be able to reach the creature. Okay, so first she will. Would Birke charge blindly into the room like this? Maybe not. I think Birke will delay. Delay right after Lucca, maybe.
Okay. One of the cultists' turn comes up, and he moves behind that waist-high pile of broken shelving, and or maybe even further. Let me see the 30 feet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so he's gonna move even further. He's gonna move in front of it to be able to get the darkness that curls from his fingertips to get both Ottardo and Birke. And I will ask you to roll fortitude saves, Birke and Ottardo.
Okay. So this one is from Birke. And
Okay,
if I
make your save.
this is from Ottardo.
Okay, that's a fail. So Birke takes half of this damage. Ottardo, you take both of these damage points, and Ottardo starts to bleed from the wound that opens up. That was the cultist's turn, and it's Lucca.
Right. Well, when in doubt, burn it. But is it close enough to burn? 40 feet. Hang on, what's my range? Reduce flame. 30 feet. Damn it all. And too many people are standing in the way. Well, this might prove useful soon, so I might as well, get some flaming spheres going. It also has a range of 30 feet, damn it. I can't see it.
And only when you cast it, or can it also not move further than 30 feet?
It can move anywhere inside of its range, I believe, so. Can I cast around the corner? Can I do the lean thing? Can I stand here and
you
cast?
Yep. You can pick a corner as the origin. I don't think that changed.
Okay. Then I'd like to step up here and cast from around the corner and put a sphere right on the guy here.
Okay.
What do you hold to lean?
Q? Is it?
I don't think that's it, because it... oh, there we go. There we go. Now I can target him. Okay. Actually, I might as well have just produced flame, but that's okay. I do flaming sphere.
Right, you can
And he
roll.
has a reflex save.
Do you need me to pull the sphere down, or?
It's just weird because I can't see what I'm doing unless I'm leaning around the corner.
I see. Yeah, that is weird, of course. Okay, so the guy, the cultist that you summon the sphere on top of needs to roll his save, and he fails. He takes the damage.
Okay, that'll be 13 points.
That is good amount of damage.
Actually, I think that's going to be 15 points because of my bloodline.
Very nice. Okay, yeah, he's clearly getting burned by that. The other cultist.
Birke will jump in right here, right after Lucca.
Right after Lucca. Okay, so I forget. So when she still doesn't. No, she does return to initiative when she chooses to.
Yeah,
So
she moves. Yeah. Okay, and so she will stride into the room. She will use her. She will declare this cultist as her prey, and she gets to make a knowledge check for free on that. What is the benefit of? I think we always forget this. What happens if she succeeds? No.
don't think there's anything that really happens when she succeeds, which is
Huh.
what throws us off every time because it doesn't really
Oh.
make a difference in combat.
Okay. Well, in
We-
that case, she's just going to. Oh, I think I remember. I saw it somewhere. If she succeeds, she can share that bonus with everybody else, and I think it comes from a feat, which is why we don't see it.
think if she crit succeeds.
Yes, yeah, it's the monster hunter feat.
Yeah.
If she crit succeeds, then everybody gets a +1 bonus to the next attack roll. But since she gets the check for free, she's going to do it. Which I guess is religion.
Yes.
And she rolls religion.
It's not a crit success, unfortunately, but it is a success.
Okay. That is fine. And she is going to take a swing at this blasted creature.
Ooh, that is a hit. Give me that damage, 15. And she, badly injures him. He's already been burned by the sphere. Severely limited in how he can dodge her strike, and she slices him open. That's her turn. Then it's the other cultist. Is it the other? Yes, the other cultist's turn. Who is going to move down here and then is going to use his tendrils to catch Birke and Ottardo in their reach. So that's another
Okay.
42 save from each of you. Okay, that's a regular success for Birke and a crit fail for Ottardo. That'll be not great. So Birke takes 3 points of damage. Ottardo, you take double this damage, and I will give you. Oh, and you take double persistent bleed. I think we had that issue before that it doesn't really know that I don't really know how to increase the bleed damage. So we'll just remember that it's 2. And that was his turn. Ottardo, your turn.
Okay, Ottardo is going to sprite up. Oh, he no longer has his shield raised now. He will raise his shield,
Mm-hmm.
and with his last action, he is going to take a swing at the cultist that's already injured.
All right. Let's see that. That's a hit. You swing the hatchet and bring it down hard, slicing into his shoulder. And it's like his arm is already just like dangling from his body in an unnatural way, but they aren't alive.
And that's his turn, so he takes twice the
You
damage.
can
Okay,
double here
yeah,
and roll the recovery.
and now it gives the recovery in the chat. Okay.
Okay. Soma.
Right. In this case, I will once again start the Inspire Defense. I will try to make it lingering,
Okay.
which
Performance.
is for me to performance check.
Oh, and that is a little more difficult now because you went up a level. Let me see those
Oh.
DCs. Skill checks and skill DCs.
19 for level 4.
19 for level 4. Thank you. Yeah, definitely made that, of course. So
Now
it is
goes
lingering.
for 3 rounds. And Ottardo ran away. She will run after him. About the bleeding. Will run here. And my last action will actually.
Okay. The cultist currently sharing a space with the sphere is already near death. Okay, so he's going to move out of the sphere square and another step back. and actually all the way with its back against the door with this spooky carving on it. And he reaches for the necklace with those dangling pieces of desiccated looking or decayed looking flesh, and he rips one off, and you see him like mumble some probably looks like a quick prayer to whatever the canker is, and he consumes that bit of flesh. And here we go. And he heals 10 hit points. So that would make it 2 actions, and then as its third action, gonna do some damage here. Let's see. He's gonna say, gonna pick out Ottardo, maybe drawn to him because he has this aura of being the leader, and he targets you, singles you out specifically, and he says, "You shall feel the pain that the canker will bring upon all." And then he casts Phantom Pain on you. Will save to resist.
Yep. Let's make sure this is Ottardo. Yep. Oh man.
And you fail, so you take full initial damage. So we have this, and you feel sickened by this racking pain. That was that. Actually, I realized that I used one too many action because it's moved, it consumed the flesh, and it cast. So I'm going to take back the consumed flesh. So he's still near death. Lucca.
Lucca will come into the room. 15 feet. I think that puts him. Yeah. He sees this guy backing off towards the door, and he's just gonna roll the fireball over to him.
And do the reflex again.
Yeah, he needs to make the reflex save again.
Rolling up. There it is. He rolls and fails.
Yes. And he will take. I gotta find it myself. Oh, 5 plus 2 for 7.
And the 5 is not enough, but the +2 is what makes the difference here. So he so he was there casting the spell at Ottardo and talking about the pain that the canker shall bring upon all, and then that sphere rolls his way and he goes, "Oh no!" And he goes just immolated. Right, that was 2 actions, I think.
That's 3 with my movement. So I'm all done.
Didn't you just sustain and move? What was the third?
Oh, you're right. Can I sustain it again? No, I think I can only do it once. Lucca just points to the remaining guy and says, "We'll do you like we did him," and he's gonna intimidate him.
I don't think there's any reason why you can't sustain more than once.
The sustain action itself doesn't have any limitations, so it would be
It would be the
in the
spell.
Oh, the first time you sustain the spell each round.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the first.
So you could do it multiple times, but it doesn't really.
It can sustain, but it won't have any additional effect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good distinction. But I will just try to intimidate this guy.
Down here. Okay. Yep. I have his will DC right here.
And I rolled a natural 1.
And yeah, at this point, they are just. I mean, does this make a difference here? Critical failure. You do an intimidating glare. Good.
I become frightened.
Yeah, maybe you realize that you bit off more than you can chew. No. Okay. Yeah, but they just at this point, like you are storming their inner sanctuary. There's nothing that can break their conviction at this point. Birke.
Oops, I misclicked.
Oh, I
Birke.
don't have.
Birke is going to stride, circling around the cultist, and then she is going to swing her gizarm at it.
Mm-hmm. Hitting. Hurting.
And trying to do so again, and crit missing.
Ooh, critical missing. Okay. All right. That was Birke, and then it's that cultist's turn. And yeah, he is flanked by the two of you, so he's gonna move away like so. I don't think anybody has attacks of opportunity. And moves towards the door, and he like turns around, and his face is still just pure madness and rage, but you spot some sense of self-preservation in there as he says, "Your insolence shall not go unanswered. The high priestess will take care of all of you." And then he opens that door, and then he falls on his knees, and he says, Nakazarin. And this is now in Necrol, so probably only Lucca will be able to understand it. And he says, "We've failed you. Do with me as you see fit, but please deal with these offerings to the canker. We cannot hold their assault." And then there's just like a frustrated, croaking, somewhat rasping sound that echoes from whatever room lies beyond. And then it's Ottardo's turn.
Ottardo will raise his shield, and then he will stride up to the cultist, and
Then he's, oh yeah, I should have given him the prone position because he actually went prone. There we go.
okay, and swing at it, and miss,
And miss.
and then he gets to roll.
Okay, yep. So you take double that damage. Is that right?
No, this is normal, and it's
Oh,
double
okay.
bleed.
Double the bleed damage, but
Yeah.
the persistent you get the regular.
Oh,
You have so
takes-
many conditions on your every session. It's amazing. Okay, so you continue to have those splitting headaches and visions of pain. How about the bleed? You roll for
Yeah.
that separately.
Oh, I didn't see it. It was there. Okay, so I can
Yeah,
apply it
both of them, yeah.
there, double, and then recovery. Okay.
Nice. Crit succeed on that. Okay, so I think it took it off of you automatically. Yes, it did. Nice. All right, Soma, your turn.
Okay, I was going to try to apply first aid, but no longer needed. However, probably a different kind of first aid is now warranted. So we Inspire Defense still operates. It will operate for 2 more rounds, right? Yes.
Yep.
And I think we'll try to soothe your wounds. So we'll move a little bit like this, not to be on the same line. We've learned that mistake. We'll use first level soothe. Ottardo.
All right, let's see that. There it is. Okay, that's your turn.
Yes, move and to action.
Okay, Lucca. Anthony? I think he froze. Okay, maybe we'll do Birke first and then come back to Lucca. Sam?
Yeah. Birke will stride up to here, and then to the side, and then she will swing her glaive at the now prone cultist.
Yeah, and she viciously uses the opportunity to strike at him, causing 8 points of damage. Yep.
And then misses.
Wow, it's surprisingly strong survival skills here. All right, Anthony, it looks like you're still frozen. Weird that it's that it is still around. You would think that Discord kicks him off after some time. Oh, there we go. Let's see if that means that he's going to come back now. Because otherwise it would be the cultist's turn, and I don't want to do that before Lucca had a chance to act. There's no sign whatsoever. Maybe he lost his entire internet connection. Oop. Alright, let's just give the cultist a turn then, and we'll move Lucca down the initiative order as we go along. Okay, so the cultist stands up from prone, and so that was one action. And then what? And then he... Yep. In a second. So and then he takes a step back as a second action and shoots a ray of enfeeblement at Ottardo. So we see him gesturing towards Ottardo, who is not... Wait, hold on. So attempt a ranged spell attack against the target. I miss, so nothing happens, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, so that was 3... That was one action too many. I forget that the spells are actually 2 actions.
2 actions, yeah. Well, they're not always 2 actions, but most.
Yeah, but this one was... anyway, so then he's just going to reach for a lump of decayed flesh from hanging from his pen, and then is going to use that instead. So he's going to consume that for a couple of hit points of healing. There we go. Okay. Anthony, are you back?
On Discord, but not on the game.
Okay. Did everything...
If yeah, just the power flickered and it shut down the modem and everything. So
I can feel your pain.
Can if it is the ghoul still standing in the room? And if
They-
so, can I just move my produce flame or my spear,
Flaming sphere.
my
Yes,
flaming spear to him?
You definitely can do that, and I will roll
Okay.
reflex. So reflex save is crit succeeded. So I would assume nothing happens for now. That was one action.
Is he in fire produce flame rain?
Yep.
Okay, I will do that too. Hang on, I'm coming back online now. So
Okay, great.
there we go. Okay. Okay. He's inside that room there. Okay.
Yeah, I just took a step in there. Yeah.
And then I will hit him with the fire. And miss. Great. Okay, I'm done.
All right, Ottardo.
Ottardo. Why is it dark in there? Why can't he see him clearly?
There's a second door that's not open.
But like the first one should be enough, no?
Yeah, I
What's
don't
the
know
big
what you
door?
see. You might want to refresh because when I click your token, it's normal.
Okay, well, he is going to step up to the cultist. Okay, and now Ottardo sees the head priestess or whatever. And he is going to strike at him
Mm-hmm.
and miss him.
Very
This
good
is
too.
one resilient cultist, and he is going to raise his shield. That's his turn.
Okay. All right. Then we have a recovery. So first some damage and then
Oh,
a recovery check.
of course. I keep forgetting these. Okay.
There you go. So you only feel sickened at this point, but you no longer have these splitting headaches. All right, Ottardo, you can see into the room, and I don't think I've ever actually told you what it looks like in here. I don't think you've had a chance to glimpse this, and it's certainly it's certainly a sight to see. It's a pretty vast room. You can tell even from standing just outside of it. There are several display cases that are sitting in this room, and there's a very soft light that is illuminating them, most likely magical in nature. These display cases probably once held books or something like that. I mean, this is a library after all, but they are now smashed and empty. The north wall is slightly curved, and there is a hideous but towering figure of a woman. The form is made up of hundreds of portions of flesh that just been like stitched together to form the overall shape. And the flesh, I mean, you're a good distance away, but even from here, you can see that it's a variety of creatures that have been harvested for this purpose. You see like bits of what look like humanoid, but also like furry animal skin, and then there's reptile, scaly skin, and all of it like stitched together to form this horrific um, effigy or whatever you want to call it. There's a stench of rot emanating from the statue that is filling the entire room and is spilling out as the door was open. The high priestess stands right next to the statue, and she snarls and looks like disdainfully as the cultist begs for her support, and she says, "You should not be worried, Necro. You should not be worried about my mercy. You should worry what the canker will do once her vessel is complete and she can finally take flesh again. And then, but I will finish what you cannot." And then we'll see what she does to back that up. I think the first thing she does is shoot a ray of darkness at Ottardo, just straight up. She can do that pretty far distance. As the ray shoots towards you, you can already feel the cold coming from it. I will make a ranged attack roll first, which should succeed. Here we go. It's a 22. Or it's a 25, sorry. I hit, so I deal damage, which is 5d6 cold. So 20 points of damage for you. Sorry. You are emanating. Okay, and it's the as the darkness passes through the light of your light spell, it actually starts to interact with it in a very strange fashion, and it is not successfully counteracting it. This is caster's DC, so it's an 11 to counteract, so that's not enough. But for a second there, it was like drawing it looked like it was cutting a path of darkness into the light, but the magical light fills that path pretty quickly. So that's what she does for this turn, and then it's Soma's turn.
All right. I think I will just do my second level spell to him again, because he will die otherwise.
Thank you.
Right. I can do moment, so do it myself. Yeah, everyone still maintains it.
Okay, everybody's got that on their tokens. Almost. Yeah, there we go. That was your turn?
Yes.
Oops, sorry. Birke.
Birke is going to move behind Ottardo, and then let me pull her sheet, and then take a swing at the cultist.
All right. Missing.
And again.
Missing. All right. And then it's the cultist's turn, and he backs off a little bit. Actually quite a bit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Does he have one more? Yes, one more. So he's gonna back one up, or he's gonna seek to get to the side of his high priestess, and he is going to. Yeah, now he can shoot his ray of enfeeblement at Ottardo as action 2 and 3. So I'll need a fortitude save from you, Ottardo.
Okay.
You fail regularly, so that is enfeebled 2. And then it's Lucca's turn.
Well, this seems bad. Why is Ottardo just standing there? They're killing him! He's going to come standing over here next to Souma. He's going to...
Yeah, at this point, the Summer probably will just bulge your eyes out and almost screeching at them. Oh, why are you standing all in one line again?
What are you talking about?
Two people are always standing in a line.
It's impossible not to. Unfortunately, this guy he has retreated out of the range of my spells. So I'm gonna sustain the spell just to keep it active.
Mhm.
And well, I guess let me keep moving first. As I see the situation, I'll keep moving. Stand over here so I'm at least not in the direct line of fire. And then I'll sustain the spell, and seeing how badly hurt Ottardo is, and the fact that Souma just keeps trying to heal him, he's gonna pull out his own wand of heal and he says, "Oh, I'll help next round," and that's it.
All right. I'll help next round. Ottardo.
It takes 3 actions. Damn it.
I'll help you in 6 seconds.
It is Ottardo's turn. Let me think. Well, first he's going to raise his shield because that's a good idea right here. He does not have the movement speed to reach the creature in one action. 1, 2, 3.
You could charge.
I think that's a fighter-only feat. Sudden charge.
I think it's a feat to that be for that to be good, but I think you can. Wasn't there like a maybe there's
I don't
maybe
think so.
I'm doing that. Okay.
So what he will do is make use of his new ability, and maybe it's not such a great idea. Maybe we'll see. He will say. This is a hard challenge. Steel yourselves, and he'll attempt an intimidation roll against the standard DC, which should be 19, and I think he crit succeeded.
Yeah, he did. Yes, indeed.
Okay, which means I can pull it on now. Do I click it or do I pull it? I pull it, I think.
But
Crit
it
success.
has a reach of 30 feet. Oh, that doesn't matter. You intimidate your friends.
No, it's not an intimidate. It's not an actual demoralized check. It's just a way to enter a stance.
Oh.
And if you succeed, then you manage to enter the stance. If you fail, then you don't enter the stance.
What's it called again?
Dread Martial Stance. I'll drop the link.
That's fine. I got it.
Which basically means that everybody now gets a +1 status bonus to attack, to damage, not to attack. And then he is going to move into the room. No. Actually, no. He has a better thing to do, which is to lay on hands. And he will apply 12 points of healing.
Well, that was a pretty good turn, I would say. The High Priestess looks at her available spells, walks with very measured paces towards you, and just, a sense of superiority on her face. She feels like she's got this in the bag. She hurt you greatly. She sees how you're kind of scrambling. You're to heal yourself, even though you're like fighting back. She just says, "There is no fighting back for you. Once the canker is among us, all of you shall tremble and fall. Hear the cankers roar." And then she casts a sound burst, which means that on Birke, yeah, I can get all of you. She casts it on Birke, so everyone roll a fortitude save.
Okay.
She can see Birke?
Yeah, Birke's behind Ottardo.
Because she's in the line.
What? Birke's behind her? Oh man, I must be lagging.
Oh, maybe you want to
Oh wow.
refresh.
I'll roll it, yeah, and then I'll.
Yeah, that's why Souma was saying that everybody was in a line.
All right,
Well,
so everyone takes 10 points of damage, and everyone is deafened. I'm sure that's not going to affect your cooperation. But just for one round, which you probably don't know right now, but there you go. I'm gonna deafen all of you. And that is the High Priestess's turn. Soma.
Well, yeah, congratulations. I believe that now that everyone is deafened, you can benefit from my Inspire defense for this round.
Correct.
I will have to renew it next time because I think this is also the round when it runs out. Okay, in that case, I want to save myself troubles for the next round. I will walk over here, open the door, see what's going on, and I will cast shield on myself.
All right. And then it's Birke's turn.
Okay. Well, I think Birke is up for the challenge here, and she will
Oh.
stride up.
Oop.
To the priestess, and she will take a swing at her.
It's a hit. And ooh, 23 points. I thought that was the attack roll there. 23 points of damage. Yeah, that injures the High Priestess.
Wait,
I don't know why Lucca just took 10 damage.
What?
I don't know why Lucca just. I'm just gonna
Huh?
undo the damage to Lucca. I don't know why that happened.
No, I just applying the sonic burst damage.
Oh, okay. So
Uh,
that was Birke's second action?
That was the second action, and I think bolstered by this success, she's going to try again and miss.
And misses. All right. The cultists now behind the priestess. I mean, none of you can hear it, but you see his mouth move. I see like says something and jumps in front of the high priestess and lunges at Birke. So that'll be a strike with his jaws first of all, trying to bite her. And he hits, causes 14 points of damage as he rips like chunk of flesh from the unprotected soft skin of her neck. Birke will have to do a 40 save right here.
Mm,
And another one right here.
As the L1.
Oh, what is going on here? Oh, is that possible? Yeah.
Incapacitation.
It's an
Yeah.
incapacitation effect.
It is. But I wonder, where did it actually say that? Where does it say that trait? Oh, there it is. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, she doesn't get paralyzed, but then he follows up with a claw wipe and misses. Cool. So I guess that level makes a big difference here.
Yeah.
Okay, Lucca.
Man. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is sustain the flaming sphere. And I send it rolling right past Birke up to the ghoul up there. Just in range.
All right, so the ghoul has to save, but not Birke. For some reason, it only causes damage in the square it ends its movement in.
Yeah.
And it fails, okay.
That's a failure, so that is I think it's, what is it, 3d6? I think it's 3d6.
Yeah, 3d6 basic reflex.
Okay. You don't have the dice tray in this.
Oh, yeah.
11 points of fire.
Got it.
And he can't hear, which I think affects spellcasting.
If it has a verbal component, yes.
Which almost everything does. So that's gonna be bad. I could heal everyone. I mean,
Well, it's a DC 5 flat check for an action with the auditory trait, which I assume is this. So it's
But
not
but
terrible.
but the heal anyone is 3 actions
yeah,
anyway.
I know. I think I'd rather. I mean, I'd rather get the frontline guys in better shape because I think Souma and I are not as at risk. So I am going to try to use the wand to cast heal on Ottardo. So that's what I'll do. So I have to make a flat check first.
Yes, the DC 5 flat check.
Okay.
Okay.
He's like yelling. Everything's muffled. And he's going to try to cast heal from the wand. Well, he succeeds at casting heal. Come on, use wand of heal. There we go. He's going to do the 2-action healing, giving Ottardo back 11 hit points. Ugh, that was bad. That's his turn.
Could have been much worse. Ottardo.
Okay, Ottardo is going to raise his shield, and then he will stride into the room, and finally he will target the cultist with his hatchet
Okay.
and miss.
And that's your turn?
Yep.
Okay. All right. You all regain your hearing, so the high pitched beep fades out and the normal sounds of the scene fade back in. And then he is going to do bad things. She steps forward and then reaches for Ottardo and says, I've tasted, in common, I guess, says, I've tasted your essence before. I shall feast on it again. And she casts Vampiric Touch. Give me a Fortitude save if she touches you.
Okay.
That is a biggie.
I think he will hero point that.
I think that's a good idea.
Using hero point. Ooh.
Oh! Crit success out of a regular failure. Nice use of a hero point. You take 10, and then because it's a crit, you take half? Is that right? Is that how that basic?
Is it no basic on a
No.
crit you avoid?
Look at that. So she touches you, again, that sense of superiority, and then she senses your resolve and just your determination to win this fight, this battle, all of this, and she just is shocked by finding so much resistance and stumbles back and looks at you wide-eyed for a second, completely thrown off.
And
Nice.
and the moment she does that, the music starts back. Because once shaken back into her senses, so Thomas once again strikes an inspired defense, and I will try to make it lingering again.
Right. See that performance? That's not enough.
Well, in that case, at the very least, I don't lose anything.
Okay. So you would just sustain next round. That's basically how that works.
That was one action, and with my next action, I cast Shield again, and with my final action, I draw the Wand of Magic Missile.
All right. Birke.
Birke is going to move to flank the cultist, and then she is going to swing at him.
Nice.
Critical hit. Critical hit. Oh. What? 13? No, that should have been 30.
Oh,
But-
did I?
With magical weapon, that's
No,
Yeah.
I see what happened. I misclicked and I targeted the ball of fire.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so
I guess you should check if 30 is still a crit or not.
it still is.
Okay,
But
well then,
what I don't understand is why the damage, when I try to apply that damage to the cultist. Oh, because it's dead. Okay. It would only apply 13 out of the 30 because
yeah,
that's all the hit point it had left. Okay. Yep. All right. So I think you have a third action still.
yes, and she will use that to take a swing at the priestess.
And that's also
And
a
Birke
hit.
is on a roll.
Oh, she sure is. 14 points. Excellent. Yeah, so she's badly injured too. And Lucca, you're no longer deafened.
Wonderful. We will advance. What? Okay, don't know why that happened. Didn't want to go quite that far. We will sustain the spell and move it over.
All right. So she shall roll her save again. Or for the first time, I guess, for in her case. 18.
That is a failure.
Oh wow, so it's 3d6 of fire.
And I forgot that +2, so it's actually, this will be 18. Nice! Look at
Neat.
that. Wow.
That is a very good roll. Yeah, she's badly injured, burned, shocked by Ottardo's determination. Lucca's third action.
Lucca has a third action. He'll look at her and he'll be like, "We'll do you like we did the others." He'll try to intimidate her.
Okay, let's see that. She's actually not that hard to intimidate for some reason.
Not a good roll though.
No, but that is spot on. And she goes, "No, it's impossible," in Necrol, so you understand it. It's impossible. The vessel, it's not complete yet. The canker, she must return. This is not how this was supposed to go. And
Yeah, well, sucks to suck, he says in Necrol.
sounds better in Necrol.
It's a rough translation.
All right, Ottardo.
We'll start by raising his shield, and then he will. It's still a while before Birke's turn. But still, he will take a swing at the priestess.
Ooh, at the end.
And he will attempt that again. And miss.
That's a miss. Okay, so that was 8 points that I missed here. Okay, got it. All right, that was your turn?
Yep.
Okay, so the high priestess, like, she stumbles back. She says, "This is impossible. It can't be. No, this can't be the end." And she walks all the way back to the statue and turns toward her and say, "Canker!" And she like touches the statue, rips pieces off of it. She says, "Canker, don't will fail me now." And she shoves it into her mouth. And oh indeed. Let's first of all see how much she gains back. She regains 12 hit points from that. And clearly seems to feel invigorated. And her movements, in fact, she's so invigorated that her movements seem to quicken as she turns around and that smug smile on her face appears to be back. And only she had like a real killer spell, but there's nothing super cool that she could do. I guess she just points her staff. Oh, hold on a second. Just a moment. No, that's all fine. Yeah, she just points her staff at Birke and unleashes another ray of enfeeblement. So Birke, give me a fortitude save.
Okay.
Nice.
And she succeeds. So she is only enfeebled 1. And that was the High Priestess's action. I believe her frightened condition goes down. Yep. And also her quickened should be gone because it's just a round. Soma.
And I've prepared my wand, so now Soma will point it at the priestess and try to unleash all the power it has. So I will spend all 3 actions to cast magic missile.
All right. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Let's see how it. Use the wand of magic missile. I just click damage 3 times, right?
I don't know. Click damage, see what happens. Yep.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. if you insist.
All right. So those 3 like just they just poke, like slam holes into her. She's like this black ichor is oozing out of her body, battered, broken, but not yet beaten.
I also look at her defiantly as a free action.
Virgo.
I think she ate from the canker, and now the canker has forsaken her. Birke will move and then attempt to strike the creature and miss, and then attempt again and miss again.
Virgo's arm slightly heavier than usual. Lucca. Your chance to finish her off.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. He sees. He sees her there. He sees how she's like healing by eating this, and he looks at the wand in his hand, and he's like, "Oh, that's right." And he's like, "Oh, this will kill her as well as anyone else." And he points the wand at her, and he like is trying to draw more magical energy out of it, but of course it's expired for the day. So he's like, "Oh, come on!" And he's like, "Oh, "This doesn't usually happen." He
Overcharge?
he is trying to summon magical energy out of the wand to cast heal. But in doing so, he finds that this surge of deadly, deadly force comes welling up from somewhere inside of him. And he does not cast heal from the wand. He casts his 2nd level once per day heal using all 3 actions. He'll throw the wand on the ground if he has to.
There's positive energy that is shooting from, like, emanating from him?
Yes. He excludes himself from the emanation.
Of course. Yeah, wow.
Lethal positive energy washes over the area.
Let's see that roll.
Hang on, let me figure out. Okay. 3 action heal, 30-foot emanation should just get everyone, including her.
So, and she does a fortitude save, right? Everybody gets healed, and she does a fortitude save. Is that right?
Yes, she does a fortitude save.
Okay, regular success, so she only takes half.
14 points of positive energy.
Okay, she takes half of that, and clearly desperate, devastated that the canker apparently has forsaken her.
Oh, and the fire's gone.
Right. And I'm sure Lucca is shocked about what just happened. All right, Ottardo.
Ottardo is going to stride up, flanking the priestess, and he will swing at her with his hatchet.
All right, so you stride up to her. She just like completely has apparently like there's no more tension in her body. She just seems broken. As she looks up, she turns towards Ottardo, and the last thing you see before you just kind of hack the head from her shoulders is a single word that Lucca understands to be "why," and then you just separate her head from her shoulders, and she goes down. Excellent job,
All right.
everyone. Whoops, I should have checked the. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I should have checked the encounter tracker first for how many XP that was. But I can recreate that, I think, and then look it up. Yes, so that's 120 XP for each of you.
Nice.
Mhm.
And I've unfortunately also missed the more epic playlist that would have been
Ah,
boss fight. All right. Okay, so let's get back to the regular playlist here. And is this the one? Sorry. Should probably be this. Yes. Yeah. So you see your enemies on the ground. You're all, of course, Ottardo and Birke, you've paid the price. You feel enfeebled. Souma, Lucca, you're mostly okay. But all of you feel probably a great sense of relief that you made it through this. But there is still that towering monstrosity in the room that is certainly unsettling to behold. And of course, the room itself might hold another secret or two. So what are we going to do?
Luca, did you dismiss that sphere yet? I mean, I think the one last thing could use a bit of fire here.
Lucca is like looking at the wand in his hand, and he's like, what? I think I got distracted for a moment."
Mm-hmm. Uh, oh.
This wand is something strange.
Hmm.
It's like looking at it. It's like, I knew this thing was dangerous.
what do you mean dangerous? It just saved our lives.
No, you don't understand. It wasn't the wand. I think I've been infected or something.
Oh no. Wait. If you were infected, does it mean that if you turn into a ghoul, would you grow some flesh?
Oh. You can turn into a ghoul.
And? I mean, these guys turned into ghouls, right?
I mean, I suppose that makes sense. How else do ghouls get ghoulified?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Probably not. I think you have to be alive to become undead.
Hmm.
But anyway, that was well struck, Ottardo. All of you.
That could have been, well, could have been all of our ends.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, no. If they killed us, they probably would have turned us into a ghouls, so it wouldn't be the end.
Well, it would have been the end of our adventure.
Yeah.
Lucca,
Ottardo is going to turn to the statue thingy.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you described it, it's like a person made of different bits of
Yeah, it's
flesh.
like it's a larger than life depiction of a female shape. Um, it's been stitched together by bits and pieces of flesh from various creatures. You can clearly see some Morlock flesh, maybe even some ghoul bits and pieces going by the color, and some more monstrous parts. Um, it's about 15 feet tall, so like I said, larger than life. It's decaying. There are bits of stained bone that are prodding out, sticking
ooh, I'll
out.
take some of those.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's definitely an unnerving sight to be seen.
Uh, Ottardo will reach into his backpack, pull out a torch, light it up, and look at his comrades.
Oh, wait,
We're burning this thing, right?
Well, of course.
of course, we must, but surely first we must understand what it is.
I mean, they seem to be very clearly telling us what it is. It's probably the canker. Whatever that thing was. Was this? I don't know.
Well, perhaps you missed it. They were speaking in Necril quite a bit, but she said something about this being a vessel for someone to make use of, to enter into.
Well, I mean, that's all more reasons to get rid of it.
I wonder, we have found much regarding the binding of spirits in this place. Could it be that they were attempting to bind something into this?
This is way too disturbing for me to ponder. I mean,
Is there some?
just being in presence of this thing is disturbing enough, and the thinking that it actually can move,
Yes, an unsettling prospect, especially for the poor individual trapped inside. But is there some sort of knowledge check I can make to like
Sure, you can give me an Arcana or crafting check even,
crafting? Oh.
or if you feel like you might have any lore that might be applicable here.
Spirits?
Yeah, yep. It's okay.
Well, Arcana and Spirits are the same, so I'll just roll Arcana. Well, I'll roll. I don't know if there's a better DC for one of them.
You can roll both. I mean, I don't think there's any reason why you should decide in which
Okay.
part of your mind palace you rummage for information. So that's all part of the same action.
That's Arcana.
Okay. All right. No, I mean the notion you've seen a ghost possess a living creature, just recently. Could a ghost or a spirit also possess an essentially an inanimate object? You don't know. Conceivable for sure, but it would take some research to see if there's any precedent for that.
Lucca kind of looks down at his own skeletal hand, looks up at that thing,
And
He says, "Perhaps there is more to learn, but I do not suspect we will find answers in that lump of flesh. Burn it."
And Ottardo happily does so.
Do you have any sort of what's it called? Something that makes things burn better?
Fuel?
Uh,
Yeah,
Accelerant?
yeah.
I think we packed a couple of alchemist's fire in case.
I have oil. I
Yeah,
have
some
10
oil.
pints of oil.
Yeah, some lamp oil definitely would help. 10 pints, that sounds like a good amount. So you
Okay.
basically douse the creature, or not creature, the statue in lamp oil, and you set it ablaze, and it slowly starts to burn.
I will
Filling
use
this chamber, of course, with a sickening smell of burning flesh.
1, 2, 3. I will use 4 pints. One for each 5-foot square.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So as this is burning, is there anything you want to do?
Well, firstly, I want to look around to see if Ottardo's Warhammer is somewhere around here.
Oh yeah.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's been placed at the feet of this statue, so kind of like an offer.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got oil on it. It's on fire.
And he goes to pick that up, and then he will inspect the bodies of the cultist and the priestess, if there's any object.
You should be. Hold on a second, but I think you
Oh,
before you try to loot it, because yeah, I forget that they never obscure their items, but you should be able to loot the body of the high priestess and of the cultist, in fact. But I don't know if the cultist has anything you want. Just the necklace.
no, that's
Um, yeah, I figured you might not want that. But yeah, the high priestess's staff is clearly a remarkable piece. It doesn't look like she made it herself. Who knows where she found that or who gave it to her? But you can sense that it's a powerful item.
Lucca and Soma. Maybe you can take a look at this.
Lucca, if you take a closer look, you see that it's twisted, grim looking. It's adorned with with skulls. You wouldn't consider them hideous, I'm sure. There's bone motifs all over it. Intriguing, to say the least.
This is just gross. Look, they've festooned it with bones. How vile. He's gonna look at it closer nonetheless.
Yeah.
All right. I keep forgetting how this works. So essentially, I can give you the checks to identify it, and then you can see which one you want to try. All right. Soma, you're just kind of standing there watching Lucca inspected, and you have to go with his word because you don't really have a clue what it could be. Lucca, you're dealing with a staff of necromancy.
It is it is a staff of necromancy. In case that wasn't obvious by the general theming.
Well, and the fact that it actually shoots the rays of death at people.
Oh, was she doing it from the staff? I missed that.
Well, not all of her spells, but some of her spells came from the staff. I think one that you witnessed was the Ray of Enfeeblement.
Would you all mind if I took a closer look at this for a bit?
Yeah, I have no problem with it. But well, the main question is, can anyone of us actually use it?
Yeah,
Or
so using staffs works like this. So it has charges, and you charge it when you prepare for the day. You can cast a spell from a staff only if you have that spell on your spell list or are able to cast spells of the appropriate level. And then you expend a number of charges from the staff.
it is
There's some.
not locked to the spell lists. Not entirely locked. The
The-
type.
The,
I think it is locked.
What's locked?
I don't think I can cast spells from it that are not on my spell list.
Oh, really? It won't even let you do that. That's awesome. So spontaneous spellcaster.
Well, it's not for me.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's good in terms of the automation. I like that you don't accidentally cast something you can't cast.
Oh well,
So
I mean,
as,
I didn't try that. I don't know if it's
okay, as a spontaneous caster, you can reduce the number of charges it takes to activate by supplementing with your own. Okay, well that doesn't have anything to do with being able to cast it. So there's just some more stuff. And staffs are also weapons. They can be etched with fundamental runes, but not property runes. And that's basically it. So which one of which ones of those are on your spell list?
Let me. It does say though that, right? I'm not crazy. Is it has to be on your spell list to?
Yes.
Okay. I can cast everything except for Grim Tendrils.
Nice.
So it should.
And that one is arcane.
Yeah. Also, just so you know, this particular staff also gives you a +2 circumstance bonus to checks to identify necromancy magic.
That's good to know.
Is that a general necromancy staff or this particular one?
That's part of the staff of necromancy's properties.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a regular old staff of necromancy. Nothing special here.
From the necromancy store.
Exactly.
Just your basic, everyday, common necromancy staff.
Yeah.
It is capable of casting several spells. I will need to spend some time preparing it and investing it with some magical potential, so it won't be of much use at the moment, but perhaps tomorrow, perhaps it will be of greater use in our continuing quest for knowledge.
Finally, we can. Well, this dungeon gives us something to turn back at it. Yeah, I suppose we probably should take a look at some surroundings. Maybe there is some loot from other more less fortunate souls that pass through.
It's a shame she didn't have some sort of diary on her with all of her information.
Well, this is just the temple chamber, so we still have like to experience all the nice things that she has back in the larder, or what they call it.
Well, fair enough.
Are the display cases empty? I think you said that. I don't
Yes,
remember.
the display cases, they're still illuminated, because with that magical light effect here, fairly faint. They are smashed, and it looks like somebody like rooted through the shards to get the books or whatever was in here out of there.
Okay, and is there anything of note in the little side rooms?
Well, if you want to search for something, you can give me a perception
Yeah.
check.
We want to search it.
All right.
Birke will check on one side.
Don't you?
Per-
That's fine.
Permit me to detect magic one more time.
Oops. does not seem to have any or hold any further secrets. These little side chambers. Let me see if there's anything in those side chambers that you find. Yeah. No, they just seem to be hold on. Yeah, it's kind of interesting in terms of the layout of this place, that there would be these little nooks here, but maybe they used to be like for reading. Maybe it was to take out a book from one of the displays and then sit on one of those benches to peruse its pages. But the ghouls haven't used it for anything, it doesn't look like. All right. Yeah, you have plenty of doors to choose from as you return to the collection room.
Do you mind? Just hold a moment. I'm going to pop off to the shower. I'll be right back.
Can I run down there and heal up and come back?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to do that. Yep.
Okay.
While that is happening, Ottardo is going to spend 10 minutes refocusing.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine too. The whole level at this point has fallen eerily quiet. I mean, it's been quiet this whole time, but there was always like a sound just at the edge of your hearing as you were as they were moving through these corridors. There was always like a sense of a presence of the ghouls. And you don't get that anymore, really. It feels deserted, abandoned, empty.
Okay.
2 doors south, 1 east.
Well, let's go south.
Okay.
Ottardo will try this door.
Okay. And hold on. Okay, so here's what you see. As you can see already, it's kind of like a long-ish room, and it's lined with little tables, and the tables are divided into carrels. Is that the right term for it? So it's like little nooks with a table and a chair, and they're sitting right next to each other. On those tables, you see stacks of paper, old, like completely discolored, tattered books, dry inkwells, brittle writing quills. So clearly the room used to be some sort of scriptorium. To the south, there's a skeleton dressed in a shiny looking chain shirt. And it's just like slumped on the floor, but it's still clutching something in its bony hands.
On the off chance that that fellow is in fact not as dead as he seems, perhaps allow me to enter first. There might be a chance I can reason with him.
Well, maybe
Sure.
I think we could just, try to poke it from the distance.
Well, that's quite rude. Imagine if you had been slumbering for centuries and then somebody came and poked you with a spear.
Well, okay, go poke him yourself then.
Only if it's mindless. If it has a mind, ironically, I can't reason with it. Don't ask me how that works.
Okay.
All right, as you step into the room, Lucca,
I need to step in the line.
just so everyone's nice, thank you for making my life easier. No, as you step into the room, like your gaze fixed on the skeleton, you startle as from the skeleton, not the skeleton itself, but from the skeleton rises a ghostly apparition.
Oh, damn it!
It's your favorite, and she looks like this. Um, Mostly elven in her features, but not entirely. There's some weird quality to her, and of course, her the incorporealness doesn't make it easier to tell anything. But you're quite sure that it's not just an elf as they are running around outside. But she materializes as in mid stride essentially, and she walks up and down the corrals, and then she like looks over her shoulder and she says, "Huh? More more help has arrived. Come in, come in. You're late. Get to work. There's plenty of work to go around." And then she looks over uh at one of the tables. She like looks over the chairs if somebody was sitting in the chair, but there's nobody there. And she says, "Oh, do this section over again. You didn't you kind of smeared the when you crossed the T's." There's nobody she's talking to. And how do you react? Like, what's your immediate reaction to it?
Uh, Lucca's like, oh, by the fifth circle, it's another damnable ghost. Quick, we must kill it! And he's readying fire in his hand.
All right, I'll let you throw some fire at her before we get started, because she definitely did not expect that. Expects you to just be help.
Oh, good, it's just in range.
Okay, so shoot it.
I take it all back. Like, he walked in. He was like, "Perhaps we can reason with it." Like, no, die
Go.
ghost.
All right, so you shoot your fire.
12 points.
12 points, but she's resistant to all damage except force and ghost touch. So that is, let's see if that works it out automatically. It does. Ah, I love this. Okay, so your fire like it goes through her mostly. You see like some of the flames interacting with her ghostly shape, but most of it goes right through and just singes the wall at the very back. And she turns around and you see her eyes glaze over, and then there's her composed demeanor turns into a completely unhinged cry as she wails, and it almost sounds like a wail of despair, not just anger at you having hit her, and you get the sense that this doesn't even really have anything to do with what you just did, but somehow you triggered something in
Okay,
her.
I want to counter that.
Well, okay, okay, do that.
See, these ghosts are all the same, so easily triggered.
You are saving throw against an auditor. Your performance, you roll a performance check for a type. You know, use a better result between you. All right, let's see that performance check.
Okay.
All right, and then I believe, and just Lucca has to save because everybody hears that wail, but only Lucca is so close to it that it actually requires a save.
Yes, here we are. That is
Yeah.
a failure.
both of those rolls would be failures. So you pause, you hesitate.
Wait, can I
What?
hero point that? I'll hero point it.
Yes, if yeah, sure, of course. You have a hero point. Use it.
Okay.
Yes, that was good use. But in this case, you can fall back to the performance roll, and that's just a regular fail. So yeah, so you hear that sound, and it really like you don't like ghosts, but there's something in that wail that moves you. It's just, it's really you're yourself are overcome with sadness, and there's something about for an instant moment there, you have this great sense of regret for all the missed opportunities in your existence. And it causes you to hesitate, and you're slowed for the moment. And now we're gonna start initiative. Okay, let me line you all up, and feel free to roll initiative. Okay. The ghost will start us off though, and I honestly didn't expect you would immediately attack her, but that's fine. So after that wail, um, she stops screaming and then rushes forward, flying through the air, hand outstretched, and her ghostly hand touching Lucca. Let's see that. Oh, what's a critical miss? Well, look at that. But she has a second action that she's going to use to try to touch you for with 17. That's a hit. And she causes 22 points of damage as she draws. Well, what is this? It's void damage, which is negative energy. So no damage for you. Right? Void is the master
Yep.
turn for. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So no damage for you. Just a lot of frustration for that ghost. Okay, Birke.
Birke is going to hunt prey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep, that will be
creature.
religion.
Okay.
Occultism, if she has that.
Her religion is better, so she is going to use that.
Yeah, I mean, she can clearly see that is some kind of ghost, incorporeal, but beyond that, she doesn't really know.
Okay, and she is going to move through the ghost
Mm-hmm.
and then take a swing with her gizarm and miss.
Okay. And that was her turn. Then it's Ottardo.
Ottardo will raise his shield and he will also move through the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
At this
And-
point, Souma will despondently scream, "But magic weapon!"
Yeah. And then he will swing his newly recovered Warhammer.
Oh no.
Well, I guess the good thing is that none of us maybe drew her attention, and she's going to keep focusing on the rude skeleton who doesn't like ghosts.
Mm-hmm. All right, that was your turn?
Yep.
Okay, Soma.
Okay. You know what? Inspire defenses would be completely useless here. I will inspire courage once again.
All right. That's one
I
action.
have this inspired defense thing stuck on me that I can't get rid of, by the way.
Oh, really? That's not showing up for us?
Mm.
For us, it's just a slowed animation.
Huh. I don't know. I've been laggy ever since that power flicker, so I don't know what's up. Though.
Yeah, some weird stuff going on. All right, so that was one action to inspire.
Yeah, I think I will just try to telekinetically projectile ghost.
Okay. Let's see how that works.
It won't.
And it just goes right through. Lucca.
Lucca looks at this thing that just came up, and as far as he is concerned, just tried to like reach out and touch him on the shoulder. He looks into its face and he says,
Oh, perhaps I shouldn't have been so hasty. Maybe she could have known something useful that we could have learned, or perhaps she just needed to be comforted. Oh, what a missed opportunity. Oh, what am I talking about? She's a ghost killer!
and he's going to cast Produce Flame. But 22 misses?
22
Damn.
misses.
I think it's time for us to go.
That was your round, but then your slowed condition goes down by 1, so you're back to your regular actions. Okay, Ghost's turn comes up. She did notice, I would say, that she can't do anything against Lucca with her touch. So she turns around. You see now her face, like she's crying. There's dark black or very dark blue tears oozing out of her eyes, almost like as if she's crying blood. And she, in common, she continues to cry and sob and say, "Volok, Volok, why did you choose her over me? Why?" And she cries out once more in despair. That'll be will saves for everyone.
No, I guess this is neither sleep nor dream related.
Nope. Okay, we have almost some of everything. Okay, so what happens is Ottardo is slowed 2. Souma is slowed 1. Lucca is fine, and Birke is slowed 1. And the ones of you who are slowed, you all also feel just like Lucca did moments ago. You're overcome with this sadness. You think about the missed opportunities in your own life, and oh, and I see. So Lucca, you were immune anyway because you already saved against. Oh, only if you succeed. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and that overpowering sense of sadness actually makes you move more slowly, so you are slowed to various degrees. That was 2 of her actions. As her third action, she reaches out to Ottardo almost as if looking for a shoulder to cry on, as if she was looking for comfort. But then her demeanor changes, and she just goes and tries to touch you, succeeds, and does 25 points of void damage, negative energy damage to Ottardo. And then it's Birke's turn.
Well, maybe we should take the clue and leave this poor soul be. So Birke is going to step out of the room, and that'll be her turn. And she should no longer be slowed now.
Yes, at the end of her turn, the slow takes down Ottardo.
Same thing. He will move out.
Using his 1 action.
Yep.
Okay. And then he's down to slowed 1. He should be down to slowed 1.
Oh, maybe I'm confusing it with another one where you.
Does slowed disappear altogether? Let me see.
I think
Because slowed you. Oh no! They're right. You're right. It was just for 1 round. Yeah. For 1 round. Yep. And Soma.
Well, you'll like, Lucca, get out of here. I'll cover you, and I will do another telekinesis projectile. That will take both my actions.
Okay. Roll the hit.
Oh, well,
That is
I
it.
hit something.
Yes, you do. Damage.
And I think it's nothing.
Or some tiny little bit. You feel like it met some resistance there. Lucca.
Lucca turns back towards the others. It's like, I don't think that she can do anything to me. Should I just stand in here and hit her with fire until she dies?
You can try.
Oops. Sorry.
Hmm?
I was trying to see what damage does.
He's gonna look at the ghost, and in spite of his instinct, which is to just, fire on sight, shoot first, ask questions later, he still has a little bit of that lingering sadness in him. He's like, perhaps we'll just come back when she's in a better mood. It seems poor sport to re-kill someone when they're so sad. He'll just step out and close the door.
All right, and as you all walk out of the room, you see her her eyes following her as she keeps sobbing and crying. And as soon as you step over out this room through the door, her eyes start to stare off into space, and she turns towards the next person as if you're just leaving this plane of existence. That's what for her, from her point of view. So yeah, she clearly seems bound to this room and does not follow you beyond its confines. And with that, we can finish today's session. I guess that's gonna be our thing now. We're always gonna end on a ghost.